My trust is at like 0.0%. And you know, that's what happens when you date in Los Angeles. Hi everyone, my name is Demetri and welcome back to DemetriTube. The Bachelor, night 6. Let's talk about it. As always, if you're enjoying my videos, please go ahead and pound that like button, pound that subscribe button, and ring that notification bell. I'm a growing YouTuber and the likes and subscribes really help me out. So just one quick thing before we get started. I got a lot of new subscribers to my channel. Thank you all for subscribing. And those of you new to my channel, if my video is delayed, just know it's coming and I'm working on it. My schedule has just been really weird this season because I started school, like I work full time and I started this class, so my schedule's just been a little weird. But if you're waiting on a video, just know it's coming. Just ring the notification bell and you'll get the alert when the video drops. And that's all I got. Let's dive into the episode. So the episode starts and we're in Montreal and Joey decides to give us a monologue. So he is struggling, he's falling for multiple women, and he's holding back in some ways. He also says he's not a super energetic person and he feels like people expect him to be perfect. So let's unpack this. First, Joey needs a nap. You could tell he's a little tired. It's not easy being the lead and they're clearly depriving him of sleep. Next, the dramatics and the foreshadowing. So overall, Joey really has not given us that much this season, but I appreciate him trying to dig deep here, especially with the foreshadowing this season. At the start of the season, ABC was alluding to the fact that he may be left by himself at the end of this, and now we're getting a confessional from him and he says that he's holding back. Overall, the show keeps sending us reminders that Joey's gonna end up alone in all of this. And like, I don't know if ABC's trying to trick us or if that's truly how it's gonna end. And the last thing I wanna say about Joey, so he says he's not like a super energetic person, which I believe because often on camera, he can come across as flat. But if you're not an energetic person, being the lead of this show probably is not for you. So I forgot where I watched this. I watched videos on this when I first started a YouTube channel, but like the camera takes away some of your energy. So when you're filming, you have to be at like 120% or you'll come across as flat. And like some people can get away with just being flat on camera, but most people can't. So if he's not an energetic person, this really is not the role for him because you're literally on camera all the time. And not only that, you're the lead. Anyways, moving on, Daisy's black skirt with the black shirt combo was really cute. And then when they were walking around Montreal, she paired it with like a patterned white pea coat. I thought this was really cute. Next, Jesse Palmer has been working on his French because he spoke a little French during Gabby and Rachel's season and it was pretty rough. I'm glad to see he's been practicing. It sounded a lot better now that he's in Montreal. Also, Jesse claims he's Canadian, but he's really not. Like, he's been in the US for like 25, 30 years, maybe even longer. So like, yeah, I guess he was like born there and from there, but like, let's be real, dude, you're American. Now we're moving on to the group date. So for the group date, the contestants and Joey walk around Montreal, they make poutine and they play a little street hockey. And overall, this date didn't look that great, but it also could have just been because a lot of the contestants were complaining. It just didn't really look like Montreal was a fun city to walk around in, but this was kind of weird because I've heard Montreal is like a really cool city. And for the day portion of the group date, there's only a few things I want to mention. First, what is Rachel wearing? She looks like she is stressed and heading to the library to go prepare for her LSATs in the early 90s. And Camilla pointed this out in my comment. She said, you have time for 0 Rachels on this show. And she's right. I really don't with any of these Rachels. First, it was Rachel Recchia, then Rachel Lindsay, and now it's this Rachel. Like, why is it Rachels on this show consistently annoy me? Next, overall, as a viewer, to me, this date wasn't very fun to watch because a few things were happening here. Some of these women just want Joey really bad, and having to share him on a date up to this point really sucks. And some of the women just don't know how to play nice in the sandbox. And also, Joey overall is not good at managing people on a date. Like, managing this many women on a date was just too much for Joey. And and it definitely made it worse for these women who are really trying to get to know him. After that, we move on to the night portion of the date, and I actually really liked Leia's dress. The color was really pretty. And the first one-on-one I want to talk about is with Kelsey A. So Kelsey A and Joey have a one-on-one, and she tells him that normally she's not insecure, but during this date, she felt insecure because she felt like she was fading into the background. This is the tough part about going from a one-on-one date to a group date. This happens to a lot of contestants. She had an amazing one-on-one date with Joey in Spain, and now she's got to move to a group date. That is something very tough to do. Next, let's talk about Lexi, and I'm gonna mix in her part at the end as well. We're just gonna talk about the whole thing all at once. So Lexi has a one-on-one with Joey, and she talks about the future. She asks him if having 2 kids and moving to the suburbs on the same timeline aligns. And when she initially said that, I was like, girl, let's be serious. Joey is a tennis instructor who just moved back home from Hawaii. We need to manage our expectations a little better. So this is just my read of Joey. Joey is like 27, 28. And yes, I do think Joey wants to find love. He wants to get married and he wants to have kids. I do think he wants that. But also, I do think he's in a figuring himself out and figuring out life phase, because he just moved from Hawaii back at home as a tennis instructor. So it's giving, I was working in Hawaii as a tennis instructor and my life ultimately was not going anywhere. Yes, I enjoy the beach, the sun, and the laid back life, and I'm glad I got to do this, but now I need to figure out what's next. And I don't think Joey is coaching tennis for people about to go to Wimbledon. Like, I think he needs to figure things out a little more before he settles down and starts having kids. And going on The Bachelor was very much an opportunity for him. And no, I'm not saying Joey is here for the wrong reasons. I'm just saying his life was probably not really going anywhere and he was looking for like a new opportunity just to do something different. So he decided to move forward and apply for The Bachelor, or maybe somebody recommended it to him and he was like, well, might as well try it. Next, if you've made it this far in the video, please go ahead and pound that like button for the YouTube algorithm. So Joey responds, he's looking for 2 to 3 years of engagement and then 2 to 3 years of marriage before having kids. Lexi responds that she needs time to process this, so they end the one-on-one and she continues to stay on the show. And when she said that, I was just like, girl, what is there to process? Y'all are on different timelines. Like, you can just go home right now. Like, what are we doing? So later on, after she processes, she meets up with Joey for a one-on-one and she decides they're not on the same timelines and she decides to go home. So just 2 things that Joey said that I do want to point out. So during their first one-on-one, Joey says, with the right person, it might be different. And that is a lie. Y'all, Joey is so fucking laid back. Like, even if he found the right person, he's not getting married in a year and he's definitely not having kids in a year or 2. Like, even if he finds the right person, he's not changing his timelines. And just a heads up, in dating, I hate when guys say that. For the right person, I'll change. For the right person, it may be different, yada, yada, yada. There's tons of variations for that, but I hate when dudes say that. Let me tell y'all, probably 98% of dudes only say that just to string you along. Because I guarantee you, if Lexi had responded, what are the qualities you're looking for in a person to get you to change or to be different? Joey would respond either, I don't know, or I'll know it when I see it. And for the most part, dudes will tell you that just to string you along, because most likely they know you are not the one, but they don't want to hurt your feelings and tell you that. Also, they may want to keep you around just in case they can't find someone better. It is 2024, y'all. I will let you know, people love to waste people's time out here. This is just my personal opinion. You do not need to spend that much time with someone to know if you're the one or to know if you're interested in building a life with that person. I feel like the main reason people tend to date for 2 years or so before they get married is just to make sure their lives work together. But overall, you'll know if you're super into that person within the first 3 months. So overall, if someone says, for the right person, I'll change, or for the right person, I'll be different, most likely you are not the person for them and they are stringing you along as long as they can, or they themselves do not know what they want. Next, during Lexi's exit, Joey has a confessional, I think, and he says he wanted to talk through this and work it out. No, he didn't. Joey was glad. This is one less breakup that he had to do himself. Okay, now let's talk about Lexi. So Lexi broke up with him because she wants certain things on her timeline, and of course, social media went crazy.
Yes, girl, do what's best for you. Girl boss. Yes, stick to your timelines. Don't reduce your standards. Yes, mama, if that's what you want and he ain't it, leave him.
So I totally get it. Lexi wants to have her own kids, so when she dates, she has to date strategically and she has to move things along quickly. I get that, but I don't think that's the best way to date. And yes, time is of the essence, but also at the same time, when you're dating like this, it almost sounds like you're looking for a sperm donor, not necessarily a husband. And for a lot of guys, that can be very off-putting. And yes, I totally understand wanting to have your own kids, and her receiving this diagnosis really puts her in a bind. I get that. But also, finding the right guy and raising a family with the right guy, to me, is more important than just trying to pop out a kid real quick. Because don't forget, you have to raise this kid for like 22 years with your partner. And you don't want to choose wrong and end up as a single mom. To me, that's a worse position to be in. Because that's very much the boat I'm in. Like, I think it would be very cool to have kids, but also I'm not going to be a single parent. And also, I'd rather raise a kid with the right partner. If I don't have the right partner, I'm not raising no kids. And let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. Do y'all think Lexi forcing dating like this is okay? Because me personally, I think it's kind of wild. So just let me know what you think in the comments. And last thing I want to say about Lexi and Joey, I was kind of sad to see Lexi go because honestly, out of the group we have right now, I think Lexi would be the best choice. Lexi or Kelsey T. But if they want different things, then they want different things and they're not a match. Yep, it's that time. Outfit of the episode. For this week's outfit of the episode, I'm giving it to Lexi during her breakup with Joey. Lexi is wearing this like cream colored sweater that's slightly cropped, and she pairs it with some black either leather or faux leather pants. I didn't like her shoes, but other than that, I really liked this outfit. To me, this is something you would wear after going skiing and hitting the slopes all day. You would wear this to curl up inside by the fire, or if you're walking around Canada all day and now it's night and you just want to curl up inside, this is like the perfect outfit for that. Also, I just thought this outfit was really cute, and overall the outfits this episode weren't that great. So for that, I gave Lexi outfit of the episode. Then after that, we get a one-on-one with Jess, and Jess tells Joey, I'm falling for you even though we haven't had a one-on-one. And that was just embarrassing. Like, girl, you haven't even had a date with this man, but somehow you're falling in love with him. Like, it felt like a Hail Mary just so she can kind of stay on the show. So Joey responds, he's struggling to picture it, he cannot get there, and then he gasses her like, you're beautiful, you're amazing, and then he ends up sending her home. And also, so far this season, I have yet to hear Joey say,
can I walk you out?
ABC, we need to go ahead and bring that back because I love when they say that. And last thing I want to mention about this, Joey says he struggled to break up with Jess. And I'm like, dude, if you're struggling to break up with Jess, it's going to get much harder from here because you have like 8 more breakups to do. Now we're moving on to the one-on-one date with Kelsey T. And while she's heading into the date, we have like a voiceover confessional and she says, my trust is at like 0.0%. And you know, that's what happens when you date in Los Angeles. So for the date, Kelsey T and Joey trained to be part of Cirque du Soleil. And this was an awesome date. I love like activity dates where you're like doing something. And I know a lot of you probably aren't down for like gym type of dates, but I would love to do this type of thing. It's fun, it's different, and also it's one of those dates where there isn't too much talking. Like again, for me, I don't love like a face-to-face dinner date. Like I prefer something where you can kind of break up the talking. And also, this date was perfect for Kelsey T because her body is snatched and she got to put on her athletic wear and show off a little bit for Joey. I'm sure that was a huge bonus for her. And it's very clear to me that she never misses a Pilates class. After that, we move on to the night portion. I like Kelsey T's outfit, but I don't love it. The shoes are really cute and I like a leather jacket, but during this formal dinner, I think it's better to wear something more formal. Maybe she should have taken off the jacket, or maybe the outfit just wasn't translating on camera. I don't know. But to have a leather jacket like this during like the formal dinner, I just didn't like that. Kelsey T opens up about her relationship with her dad. She says she has not had the best relationship with her dad. They were close growing up and then stopped stopped talking for a while, and then he wanted her to focus on religion and not go to college, and he did not support her decision. And overall, this explanation was very vague. Like, did her dad want her to become a pastor or something? Because this is a very old school view, and I've heard of views like this, but this is like crazy old school. And we're definitely missing big chunks of this conversation because, like, did her dad just want her to work and go to church? And like, I doubt he wanted her to be a pastor because his view sounds very old school, but also most old school views and like old school churches like that, usually women are not in like the higher ranks. So I'm just like, what did you want her to do instead of going to college? Like, I have questions. And I know in a lot of Muslim cultures, like, daughters aren't really allowed to leave the house until they're married. So I know a lot of Muslim families, like, if a daughter wants to go to college, she has to like commute. She can't like leave home to go to school, if that makes sense. And that's very much what this sounds like to me, but I doubt she's Muslim. So again, we're missing huge chunks of information. So overall, when it comes to Joey and Kelsey T, I absolutely love them together, and they have a very strong connection. If they had a year or two to date, I think they would be a fantastic couple, but because this process is so streamlined, I don't think it's gonna work out for them, and I don't think he's ultimately gonna choose her. And also, it is very clear that Kelsey T adores this man. Like, she really likes this guy, and it was clear during multiple moments during this date. So Kelsey T, if you don't mind a Pilot Pete type of situation, whoever Joey chooses, it's probably not gonna work out anyway. So if you wanna slide in his DMs after the breakup, I highly recommend it, and I will appreciate the drama. And for the final one-on-one date of the episode, we have a date with Maria. So for the date, they ride in a classic limo, they go shopping, and then they take a helicopter ride. And this is the confusing part about this date. So this is the pretty woman date. This is the date we see every season where one of the contestants gets a chance to go shopping with the lead, and they get to take home all these clothes and show it off to the other contestants, and they get jealous. This is the pretty woman date. And just a few things I want to say about this. First, why did Maria not bring bags back to the other contestants so they can get jealous? Did Maria already provide enough drama so production felt like it was unnecessary? Also, was that like too much fire to the flame because most of the house already hates Maria? Next, normally the contestant that gets the pretty woman date will win or definitely will make top 3. And what I'm confused about is, y'all, I still don't think Maria is gonna make top 3. So for her to get this date was very surprising to me. And last thing I want to say about this, for production to give Maria this date, it almost feels like Maria is a production pawn because they know she has all this drama. So to give her this date to give the contestants another reason to be mad at her is like pretty wild. And also, maybe she did take home the shopping bags and the contestants saw it, we just didn't see it. I don't know. Anyways, moving on. Again, the helicopter ride is very cool, but ABC, I wish we did something else. We constantly see helicopter rides. I need y'all to dig deeper and think of something else. And then when it comes to Maria's outfits, during the shopping and the gold dress she ultimately chose to wear, like, they were nice, but I just don't love Maria's style. Like, she looks good, but I just don't really like her style that much. But those shoes that she wore with the gold dress, like, if I could give a shoe of the episode, those shoes would get it. Those shoes were gorgeous. And then during the night portion of the date, Maria talks to Joey about how she previously dated a guy and he dangled engagement, and ultimately they were on different timelines and it didn't work out. Now, the only read that I will say about this is earlier in the episode, Lexi had a one-on-one with Maria and they were talking about timelines, and Lexi was explaining how her and Joey's timelines don't match, and Maria responded in a way that was concerning, but also in a sense of like, oh, my timeline may not match his either. So for Maria to have that one-on-one with Lexi and now tell Joey that her timelines didn't match her ex, but not ask about Joey's timelines, that just didn't seem strategic to me. But whatever, it's fine. I want her to stay on the show and I want to see more of them. So I'll let that rock. And also, during the night portion, they got a performance from Feist, and that band sounded really good. Like, I definitely added it to my Spotify listen later. Like, that song was fire, and I definitely want to discover more of their music. And when it comes to Joey and Maria's connection, there's definitely a solid connection there, and I do like them together. And it's very easy and lighthearted. I almost want to say effortless, but I don't know if I want to use that word, but I'll just go ahead and use it. I'll say it just seems effortless. And Joey does not have a relationship like this with anyone else. The only person that comes close is maybe Jen. But the difference with Jen's to me is just more childish, but also Jen is younger. Jen is like 23 and Maria, I think, is like 28. So there's definitely like a lot of growth that happens between those ages. So to me, this could be Jen like 5 or 6 years from now. And just a heads up, that is not a read on Jen. Jen and Joey's romance reminds me more of like a high school or college type of romance. I can't think of another word other than childish. It just doesn't seem as mature. And again, it's not a read. It is what it is. Anyways, when it comes to Maria, we'll just have to wait and see what happens, because this date is making me think she's gonna make top 3. But y'all, I really am not seeing her. I'm just really not seeing her make top 3. After that, we move on to the cocktail party, and just a few things I want to say about this. First, Rachel finally did her hair and makeup. Congratulations to her. Next, Caitlin tells Joey more about how she appreciates him, and I do think that was cute. And the last one I want to mention is with Jen. So Jen pulls Joey to where all of the other contestants are. She brings him to the piano and she teaches him how to play the piano for a little bit, and I absolutely love this. This was level 6,000. Jen is playing to win, and also all the other contestants are watching her through this one-on-one. Jen is showing Joey more about herself. She's showing him a new side of herself. She's getting all the other contestants mad, and she's also giving the producers a show. She's literally killing 4 birds with 1 stone. There's no choice but to stand. And not only that, we are getting down to the wire. Hometowns is right around the corner, and these women need to start establishing themselves as supreme. We love to see it. And for me, Joey is just not moving quick enough, so this was a perfect choice by Jen. And then after that, we move on to the rose ceremony. Leia and Caitlin go home, which is very much not a shock, but I definitely look forward to seeing them at the Women Tell All. And last thing I want to say, I know a lot of you do not with Leia, but she did look amazing crying in this Uber XL. And that is the end of the episode and the end of this review. If you enjoyed this review, please go ahead and pound that like button, pound that subscribe button, and ring that notification bell, and I will see you all next time. Have a good one. Bye.